Kia ora, good evening. Fonterra today maintained its current forecast farmgate milk price despite a lift in commodity prices. The 2014 to 15 season remains at $4.70 per kilogram of milk solids, with a forecast cash payout of up to $5.05 including dividends. Since December, global dairy trade prices have increased 45% and skim milk prices are up 13%. However, New Zealand production volumes are down due to climate, with continued uncertainty around supply from drought-affected areas. A strong earthquake struck 75 kilometres west of Te Anau in the early hours of this morning. The 4.8 magnitude quake was at a depth of 14 kilometres and was reportedly felt by people as far away as the top of the South Island. Sports Southland have come into the new year with a mission to tackle health problems in Invercargill. I went to Sports Southland to find out exactly what people need to do to get healthy. Invercargill City has higher than average rates of obesity, smoking, alcohol consumption and preventable diseases, and Sports Southland plans to do something about it. Green prescriptions are a Ministry of Health initiative which sees health professionals give written advice to patients as part of their health management. In the last 3 months of 2014, more than 11,000 prescriptions were issued nationwide, up 2,000 in the same time the year before. And Invercargill is following suit.
We had just close to 700 so far this year. So the year started in July, 1st of July 2014, goes to the 30th of June 2015.
And what's your target?
1,063 a year. So we're on track for that target. And it's been the same for the last 2 years. People usually referred for being overweight or inactive or have a stable medical condition such as type 2 diabetes, heart disease, depression. And they get one-on-one advice from a trained exercise support person. It's tailored around their health needs and their referral criteria. So if they need support around heart disease, we'll tailor the program around that.
And how often would you work with them individually?
It's once a month for 3 to 4 months, and then we assess at the end of that 4-month period if they need to carry on or not. So they need a re-referral, and that's signed off by the patient's GP.
What results have you seen so far?
Reduction in weight, better nutritional habits, feel more confident to exercise outside. We follow patients' success stories, different patients as they go along the program. Some patients lose 30 or 40 kgs and can get into the pool for the first time in 30 or 40 years and get in there with their families as well, which is great. It's really about changing the culture for that family or individual around sustainable change. And if we can change that culture, not just with them, but within their individual, but their family and the community they live in, there's a greater chance for success.
And Green Prescriptions isn't the only initiative Jared and Sports Southland are using to tackle the city's health problems. Healthy Families New Zealand is the government's approach to encourage Kiwi families to live healthy, active lives. The $2 million project aims to achieve health improvements which prevent chronic diseases. Sports Southland was selected as the local lead provider for the initiative in October, and plans are beginning to roll out in the new year.
Since we've got the contract, we've started to set up a governance group. So we're going around at the moment, going around leaders in the community to jump on board our governance group and be a champion for the cause of healthy families. So we've just about got everyone confirmed. Advertising for our dedicated workforce in the next week. So that'll be a workforce that will work across the community to promote sustainable change. Within that governance group there'll be a partnership group, so that's voluntary for all the organisations, service providers, workplaces that want to be a part of making Invercargill the healthiest community in New Zealand.
And what kind of aspects are you looking at as to what the major issues are?
The aim of Healthy Families New Zealand is to improve people's health where they live, learn, work and play. So for us as Invercargill City, it's Invercargill City Council boundaries, so it's a 4-year initiative aimed around that. So if obesity is very complex, so there's not, based on all the interventions and studies around the world, not one organisation, regional sports trusts as ourselves, council, DHB can reduce obesity on its own, and it's the same for Invercargill. We're above the national average for our BMI, we smoke above the national average. Obesity rates have risen by 18% in the last 5 years, but our physical activity rates are really high, which is good, but what we're doing is not working. So we need to work together with just really align our services and promote that same healthy message, and just understand our community and really be led by our community. And if we work together as a collective impact, we've got a greater chance to succeed, to make Invercargill the healthiest place. At the moment too, slowly mapping the community to understand where our takeaway outlets are. Are there too many in one area? Are they close to our schools? Why have we got this problem? Is it the environment we live in? Can we get to the parks and playgrounds? Where are the cycle lanes? Does it link up? Are there not enough parks and playgrounds? Just really taking a stock take, and the Ministry of Health is supporting us to just really take our time and just understand our community before we, launch straight into it. Make sure we understand it first.
Sports Southland will be targeting local schools and organisations to get on board the initiative, focusing on which food is sold where and encouraging the community to get up and get out. Sharon Rees, South Today News. Export values fell for the beginning of the year despite higher meat and dairy quantities. Figures released by Statistics New Zealand show total goods exports were down $371 million, or just over 9% in January 2015. Milk powder, butter and cheese exports drove the fall, down 30%, led by lower prices. The quantity of dairy products exported rose 2.9%, led by cheese and butter. However, the quantity of milk fell 3.1%. A 20% rise in meat exports partly offset the fall in monthly exports, led by frozen beef, up 53%. And stay with us after the break, a bid to change the historic listing category of our most iconic steam train and reflecting on the city's heritage. Welcome back. A report is being presented to the Queenstown Lakes District Council to change the historic listing category of the iconic Kingston Flyer. It's being proposed that the train set, including 2 engines, 7 carriages and the station building, be downgraded from a Category 1 to Category 2. Currently, removal or demolition of a Category 1 item is deemed prohibited activity, but if the change goes through, an application for resource consent could be made to remove the Kingston Flyer from the district. The train has been out of operation for around 2 years, and current owner David Bryce is trying to sell the historic train set. The proposal for the change in category would be subject to full public notification later this year. Visitor arrivals to New Zealand were up for January this year, driven by visits from our closest neighbours. Visitor arrivals to the country were up 3% in January compared with the same time last year. Arrivals from Australia drove the increase, with more holiday makers, people visiting family and friends, and business travellers. Australia also contributed the biggest annual increase in visitors, up over 30,000 to 1.26 million. China, the US and the UK were our next biggest sources of visitors in the January 2015 year. The number of travellers departing in January was up 5% on the same time last year. Invercargill's Heritage Month is set to kick off on Sunday the 1st of March with a behind-the-scenes tour of the Southland Museum and Art Gallery. This year's event is looking to be the biggest on record, and organisers have been working around the clock to ensure the month is filled with something for everyone. I caught up with Heritage Month organiser Rebecca Munstone to find out what's in store for the coming month.
We've got 32 events, that includes 4 exhibitions, and the activity is happening Southland wide, so it doesn't matter where you go, there'll be something at some time during the month on Heritage. For the CBD event, which is happening on the 27th of March, we're having late night Friday shopping that night, and in the 2 weeks prior to that we're encouraging retailers in the CBD to create window displays that reflect heritage in some way. We haven't defined that by era, so people can do anything from the 1880s to the 1980s or beyond if they want to, and so we've got a really quite eclectic mix of things that are going to be happening as part of that.
And what would you say the main highlights of the month are going to be?
Oh gosh, that's a really hard one. I've gone through the booklet and I've had to make a list of the things that I want to attend and the things that are humanly possible for me to attend. So in Gore on the first weekend of March there's going to be quite a focus on World War I, and the RSA there is having quite a few activities throughout the weekend, so I'm looking forward to attending that. The following weekend is the Bluff Heritage Day, which I'm really keen to participate in. There's going to be a Southland Garden Tour on the 21st, 22nd of March, so that should be a great event for people who are interested in heritage gardens. And then at the end of March, out in Western Southland, in Riverton, Thornbury, they're having quite a number of activities happening there with the sawmill, the Flax Mill, and the Vintage Machinery Museum and the Riverton Harvest Festival. So loads of things to do. Heaps of them are free or very low cost to attend, and most of them are family friendly too. Well, Heritage Month happens every second year, so the first time we did it was in 2013, and we've got some repeat events from 2013 happening again this year, and some of the events that happen in March have always happened in March, so ones like the Harvest Festival in Riverton, that's an annual event. But we're hoping that we can make these events certainly at least every second year, if not annual.
And so this year is going to be bigger and better than previous years?
Most definitely.
The bathrooms of students at Southland Boys High School could have been left a little worse for wear after some early morning body paint application today.
Thousands of young men donned their house colours as part of the traditional Southland Boys High Sports Day. That's become as much about the visual presence as the actual sports. The Spectacular is an annual event for the school and offers a chance for students to express their creative sides before proving themselves on the paddock. Herbert Street traffic could have been confused thinking there was a Scottish Hare Krishna convention underway as students at Coldstream Hostel made their way to school. The 5 school houses are represented by orange, red, pink, black and blue, with house chants, banners, presentation and individual placings all counting toward house points.
I look around the field and what do I see? Four pussy house captains all staring at me. There's an orange on Matillions and 5 boys too. They're calling you a muppet and your girlfriend's poo.
Year 13 students are responsible for planning the day, which is all about atmosphere, camaraderie and competition.
Coldstream, you like obese?
Coldstream, you like obese?
Importing your players from overseas.
Importing your players from overseas.
Dinka, you will fall.
Dinka, you will fall.
Two-wing joke is getting old.
Two-wing joke is getting old.
Coldstream, time to abort.
Coldstream, time to abort.
Half your members still need passports.
Half your members still need passports.
Grant, you're the weakest link.
Grant, you're the weakest link.
It doesn't help you dressed in pink.
It doesn't help you dressed in pink.
Dinka, you have gone too far.
Dinka, you have gone too far.
Now we have to raise the bar.
Now we have to raise the bar.
Region, yes we're blue.
Region, yes we're blue.
At least we all passed level 2.
Qualifying athletes have just one more hurdle to conquer at next week's Athletics Championships Day before qualifying for the Southland Athletics.
And now let's take a look at today's highs and lows from around the country.
Your forecast on Q is brought to you by Environment Southland. Environment Southland wants to know what you think about our recreational water areas. Where do you go? What do you do? And your thoughts about the water quality. You could win one of 5 $100 vouchers simply by completing their survey. The survey will help them find out whether the water is being tested in the right places and how the service can be improved. Complete the survey online by going to Environment Southland's website or pick up a hard copy from Environment Southland, the Southland District Council, Gore District Council, Invercargill City Council or Public Health South.
And today's weather for Thursday the 26th of February, a warm day around the country today with a high of 24 in Auckland, 17 for the capital today and 16 for Christchurch. Closer to home we had 17 for Dunedin, Gore and Invercargill and a high of 14 for Stewart Island. Chance of an early shower tomorrow with cloud increasing from afternoon and rain developing in the evenings. High of 20 for Tuatapiti and Riverton tomorrow and a high of 21 for Wyndham, Winton and Te Anau. Queenstown with a high of 23 and 20 for Invercargill. And to the marine forecast for Fovo, northeast rising to 20 knots this afternoon, becoming 15 knots Friday morning. Moderate seas with a southwest swell of 2 metres easing for a time. And Pusica, variable 10 knots, northwest 15 knots developing, becoming 25 knots Friday morning. Sea becoming rough for a time with southwest swells, metres easing. And for the long range forecast for Southland, Saturday rain easing to showers, then clearing in the afternoon. Sunday fine with increasing high cloud, northerlies developing, and Monday a period of rain followed by showers. And that's it from us this Thursday. Stay with us, sport coming up next, but from the news team, good night.